Once again, it's your boy Al Mega. It's been a busy day for the Comic Crusaders family. And absolutely, today we got another awesome independent creator talking about some comics. He has an awesome independent comic book campaign that's coming up on Indiegogo. You've seen him before on our channel, man. Let me just introduce the one and only Ryan Tyler Palmer. Epa.
Hey Al, how's it going? Thanks for having me on, brother.
What's up, fam? How you doing?
Hey, I'm doing great. I'm on top of the world. I have this wonderful book that we're going to be releasing, Hayvard Saint 8. I have an amazing comic book team. In fact, my boys together are the #1 independent comic book team in the world in collective years experience, published works, published word count, and gross from work. And this is #1 in the world, undisputed. We've got Ed Greenwood editing the book. We brought him in at the beginning of the year. He actually agreed to read a couple of my scripts. He did my show at first, and then he became a fan. And then I thought maybe since my script had somehow hypnotized him, that we could use that to bring him on the team, bring his experience in. So we have Ed Elminster Greenwood from the old TSR work. He created Forgotten Realms for Dungeons and Dragons. He worked at Marvel and DC doing the comic book adaptations of the old Dungeons and Dragons. They did an adaptation over at the comic places. So he got to do that in the old school way too. That, like, I'm talking cutting out references from magazines and mailing things in, and yeah. So it was years ago, and so this guy's been in publishing for 50 years. He's in the Gamers Choice Hall of Fame. Very happy to have him in with us and to have my back. We've also got Dheeraj Verma, who some of you might know from Marvel. He did Invincible Iron Man for Marvel Comics, and he did Conan at Dark Horse, Conan the Barbarian. He did, what was the other one that was big? Oh, he did Transformers for IDW. He did the Fall of Cybertron series. Oh, absolutely, and it was beautiful. He did the Fall of Cybertron series that they made the game adaptation from. I want to say it was released in 2011 or 2012, but they released Fall of Cybertron Transformers, the video game, and so that was the series it was based on. And he was most notably recently with Brian Pulido. Right after he did that project, he went and did artwork for Brian Pulido. Did the first 14 issues of Lady Death as an independent comic. When Brian got the rights to our dead lady, and so he's a phenomenal artist. I'm so happy to have him.
Oh my God, bro! You know what, Ryan? You're talking so much about this amazing artist. Why not just bring him on right now? The one and only Dheeraj Verma. What's going on, brother? Welcome. Hey, what's up, brother, man?
I'm
pleasure to meet you during Read Pop, man. So I'm happy to have you here today. What's up, brother? How are you?
Thank you. I'm fine. It's a very nice morning actually here. And,
it's his morning. Over here, we're drinking beer. He's drinking coffee.
Yeah, I just had my tea. I just got an email, Mike, by Mike Niken, and I was checking. No, I was thinking about Mike that he must be going to send an email to us for next meet, for Fab Meet, and it was there. So
yeah,
and
right?
You guys just talking about me, and I'm here. The devil is here.
Yeah, man, it's like Ryan is a djinn right here, and he just brought you poof. He goes around. What's going on? Yeah, man. So obviously, I don't know if you heard him, but he was obviously gloating about how awesome you are in your artistic ability and the companies you worked for thus far and the characters you worked on, which many of them being iconic, of course.
Yeah.
I mean, how was your journey in meeting Ryan, and then in particular, working with him on this project? How did that happen from your perspective, Dheeraj?
Yeah, Ryan, actually, I joined a group, and Ryan is there. So I usually read his post on regular basis. So I found this guy is very interesting. He writes very well.
Thank you, Dheeraj. Oh, that's a great honor to hear
That's a
that from you. Thank you
compliment
so
and a half
much.
right there,
You're
son.
welcome. You're welcome. So right now he was looking for some artists, or yes, um, everybody need a good team. So I realized, because he's a good guy, and yes, it's a very small world. So let's get together, and I ask him, okay, I'll just because of you, so I'll do this. Otherwise, you have seen my character, right? So
Yeah.
I'm going to send you an email very soon
Oh, that sounds great.
for that thing. So you're gonna love that, because a guy who is working on that is amazing, also amazing guy. So
Oh, thank you,
anyway,
Dheeraj. I appreciate
that's
that.
it. Thank you. You're welcome, brother. So that's another thing. But yes, I teamed up with Hayvard Saint, and yeah, I really like the concept. I really like the characters here. So I because as a creator, as an artist, I always want to do something new, something different.
Yes.
And as
Yes.
last time I told you, that when Brian offered me Lady Death, it was like me. I think it's my bad habit, or I don't know. I haven't drawn any female figure before. you know,
Okay.
Seriously, I think I born and brought up with Batman and Superman, and
Okay.
that's why I'm a big time fan of Batman. So when I started drawing Lady Death, Brian said, "Okay, Dheeraj, can you make it more feminine?" And
It's like, give
then
us some curves, kiddo. Come on now.
then yeah, I worked on Lady Death very a different way, and I give a big breast and a good hairstyle and
Good.
everything. Then
Yeah.
he said, "Okay, this one is good. Okay, go ahead with this." So first, he has appointed me a single issue with I think Chaos Rules. Then he
Okay.
asked me, "Okay, let's go for all the 14 issues." I said,
Oh,
"I'm
nice.
cool. I'm cool. I can go with that."
Wepa, nice.
Yeah,
That's
I'll show you.
fantastic.
This is a commission I have done. So just be cool.
Hold on, let's get that up there. Oh, look at that. Look at that piece. Wow,
Incredible.
nice, kiddo.
Nice work.
Nice. Hell
Thanks,
yeah,
man.
that's fire, bro.
Thank you.
Very
Thank you.
nice.
Yeah, I was very
So,
Yeah,
excited to get the opportunity to work with Dheeraj. As you can see, he's incredibly talented. Everybody knows it. The opportunity he was talking about, we were over at Cornerstone Creative Studios. Jesse has a network of artists that he finds commission work for, and he's met in his travels going to conventions. Jesse,
okay.
aside from doing like finding talent, he finds talent and finds some work and does portfolio work with people. And he did an internship with not an internship, a mentorship with me, referred me to other artists. I talked with some other guys like Paris Collins, who worked over at DC. He was very good as well, done a lot of work in the industry, created Blue Devil over DC. I got to talk with him. I did my first convention with him.
I
Oh, yeah.
love Blue Devil, bro. That's one of my see. Growing up, that was one of my first tastes of DC. Was Blue Devil. I remember picking up issue #1. I just fell in love with the cover. You know what I mean? And then, me thinking, that was that the first app? No, obviously not. It was in Teen Titans and a backup story. Then I had to pick that up. So yeah, I'm a big Blue Devil fan. I love that character. As cheesy as it is, it's so much fun.
Yeah, and that's the
And
thing
we
about
almost
Paris
got
is
him in
he's,
Swamp Thing. We almost got the Blue
oh,
Devil
yeah.
in that Swamp Thing
Yep.
show, and then, damn it, got canceled.
Yeah, I know. It would have been exciting to see on the screen. I think it's a cool character. And Paris is very much like that. I think that he is that who's entertaining in that way, and it doesn't take itself so seriously. He's a lot of fun. If you've met him in person, that personality is his. He's great to see live. He's old school, so he's when he got his start at DC, that was when you had to mail in your artwork and wait by the rotary phone for your call. And, like this was very old school the way they did it. And so, he's good in person. So when you get that opportunity and you go and talk with someone, you make that handshake, you got to have some fire. You know what I mean? You got to have that charisma and that personality. And so he's from that time, and you can see it when you go to shows. Retail, but he was one of the people, just like Dheeraj, that I met through Jesse at Cornerstone and other talents to learn this industry before I started this. So we're not trying to make a comic book. We're making a professionally produced comic book. It's going to be beautiful, obviously, with Dheeraj's line work. He's a phenomenal artist. And we've got Brian Arfel Magne, who's he's a colorist who did some work over at Valiant. He also worked at IDW. And
Nice.
he does a plethora of indie. He's fast. He's a very talented kid. I say kid, I mean, he's been doing this for around 10 years, but he's incredible. And I've got some of his artwork that I can show. He hasn't started colors yet, but I can show you some cover images he gave me permission to show, so you guys can see exactly what he can do and what we're going to have inside this book. So very excited about this team.
No worries. So even before we get into all that, folks, we're talking about this awesome comic book. Let's just take a look at the trailer real quick.
Ah, fantastic.
FOR agents apprehended 8 people today following the investigation of an event anomaly.
Responsible party has been held at the FOR U.S. compound for questioning.
Inside sources say they claim to be divine appointed heroes sent by angels to prevent the apocalypse that they witness 500 years from now.
500 years from now, in the year 2525. Hope they throw away the key on this group from Crazy Town.
Ultra Ghost reporting for duty.
Name's Dix. I'm AI. What's your malfunction, chump?
This is Ultra Ghost. I need some muscle down here.
I will not fail you, Master Gigaru.
Ooh, very nice. Very nice looking stuff, guys.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate that.
Well,
Now, this
bro. Mammoth Monk looks like a mofo you don't want to mess with, son.
Yeah, he's absolutely the muscle. He's kind of the freak show of the comic group, and everybody likes him visually. A lot of these characters are tropes of things that I enjoy in popular culture, but they're just done my way. They're very unique characters. It's a character-driven story. Their personalities are my own, but like Mammoth Monk represents martial arts, and so I'm able to write, especially when he's featured in the second half of the graphic novel we're doing. I'm a big fan of old Bruce Lee movies, and as we all are, and also the old ninja movies and martial arts in general. And so I get to write martial arts lore in this world with these pachydermian monks, with these creatures that I created. Ultra Ghost, martial trainer Ultra Ghost is the cowboy rock star 80s action hero that we all love, but just done in this new setting in my own way. There's an android in there. There's another creature, a reptilian. And then there's this divine character, Ambelkrin, who's the awesome angel. So I get to write a little bit about divinity and what I imagine it would be like in a fantasy setting, and just do it my own way with an interesting new setting. You've got these apocalyptic heroes that failed to prevent the apocalypse in the future, and the guardian angels use the last of their power to send them back for a second chance to our time. And so the premise of the story is not so much when they failed and what happened then, it's that they're arriving now under these circumstances, and then we get to experience them as the people in the world do, and they're these outsiders kind of looking at us from from a different time period, unfamiliar, trying to fit in with society, even though, some of them are human, some of them are not. But the world is very different in the past. And so they struggle with that as they struggle to fight the supernatural evil that's lying underneath society and inside of men, the hearts and minds of men. And they're trying to bring awareness to it and try to take a proactive approach to stop it. And so that's the premise behind this story. Just interesting, fun characters all the way. One of the other characters that I enjoy, as well as the Gigs, she's an android. I did a little bit of scientific research with that character. She is an android, sentient artificial intelligence who 3D printed a body from Shigella bacteria. They're these actual bacteria that exist, and they live off negative ions. If you don't mind me being a complete nerd, I really love this shit. So I looked all this up. I thought it was amazing that like there's this bacteria. It's a life form that lives in these water beds near iron deposits, and they live off of negative ions, which is electricity in the air, static electricity, and they connect to each other in a network, and then the electricity just passes through one to the next one, and it sustains them somehow, and they can't pass it through their body without the iron bed at the bottom of the lake. You know what I mean? That those iron deposits, they need those to pass it. So that's their waste. They can't get rid of the negative ion unless they're touching metal, because it's static electricity. Strange little microscopic creatures that defy our definition of life. And so we incorporated that into the book, and other cool little things that I found that I felt was interesting. That might be too nerdy for some people, but it's right up my alley. We've done it in a very fun way, I promise. And we're hitting a PG-13 rating, so you'll be able to read it with your kids and your family, but everybody will be interesting. There's advanced reading in it, and there's poetry, and there's I call it a poetic dialogue because I enjoy intellectual reads. But at the same time, there's a lot of fun in it too, so the kids are going to enjoy it. The characters are colorful and fun. So I think we've really hit that note as far as what we want to accomplish with graphic novel, make it available to everyone and interesting to everyone.
As the comic book should be, especially from a creative standpoint, and not just that, but from an escapism standpoint. So,
That's right.
Dheeraj, from an artistic angle, how did you handle, the work on this too, with the art and direction? How did that work out for you?
Yeah, the thing is, first, I just continue with this. I'm a big time fan of martial art movies. And
Nice.
Enter the Dragon, because I learned martial art too. I am a black belt in Taekwondo.
Oh, there
I
you
learned
go,
some-
folks. Don't mess with Dheeraj, but he'll give you a whooping.
I learned a little bit Hangar and Wing Chun. The martial
nice.
art actually learned by Bruce Lee itself.
Yes.
So I watched Enter the Dragon more than 100 times.
Oh, that's a beautiful movie. I love that one too.
Yeah.
Yeah, just learn to his technique, the 1-inch punch,
Yes.
how he actually it comes out from his body. It's a 1-inch punch. Then I tried, okay, let me just do something different. So I created 1-inch kick.
That's amazing. Oh, that's
So
fantastic.
really I did this, and I tried to one of my the partners who actually were in dojo, and I tried that, and it's happened. The guy fell down near about 10 feet, and
Oh, damn.
so
Really?
that was a time which I become a very big time fan of martial arts. So Hayvard Saint is all the guy, the Mammoth Monk. I like it. It's so, let's do some martial art moves and everything. So let's try this. And
It's gonna
yes,
be a lot of fun.
I'm just
I promise
working
you're gonna
on
love
it. Yeah, I'm gonna love it. So I'm just working on it. So definitely giving some decent moves and cool actions for him. Yeah,
Fantastic. And with the story of him, is essentially this is a graphic novel, but we're doing two. There's going to be a sequel. It's 4 issues total. So this first graphic novel is going to be the pilot, issue 1, which is FORUS, is an acronym for Federal Offensive Responders US. And then the second issue is Catch Wing a Monarch, which features Mammoth Monk and his nemesis Kai Trao Vang, who is Karma. Mammoth Monk defeated Kai Trao Vang on Shatterspine Mountain, and his master, Kai Trao Vang's master, for the shame, removed his eyes and left him blind and broken. And so at the beginning of the issue, one of the demons in the book, which is the protagonist throughout the book, is a supernatural evil that approaches mankind and gives them power in exchange for servitude. And so they bring him an artifact that's created in the underworld called the Eye of Karma, and he gives this artifact to Kai Trubing and says, you can have your revenge on Mammoth Monk if you just take the Eye of Karma, and it gives him his sight back so that he can fight. And so then he's able to exact his revenge, and that's the second issue, leading to a showdown at the Temple of the Vengeful Wyvern. It's going to be beautiful. There's lots of martial arts things from Mammoth Monk and Kai Trubing. It just has that feel of classic martial arts with wisdom and teachings and a lesson at the end. So you guys are going to love this graphic novel. It's going to be very cool.
Yeah, I know, very cool. Even my cat thought so. She had to jump on the table and listen more closely.
My boy
was like, is that a cat? What's going on there? Like, no, yes, my beard did not come to life, folks. That was just a cat.
No, she wants to be appeared online.
What she's saying is that, Al, when you buy a copy of this in June when we launch, you're going to have to buy an extra copy for her. So I'll count you for 2 copies.
Okay, there we are. I got you. Oh yeah, she wants to read. She's in for it, yo. Apparently she's a fan of Mammoth Monk already, even though that's not. She's too big for him. You know, I mean, actually, yeah, he's too big for her. Like, what are you doing, girl? You like them big boys? What's wrong with you?
You know, today Ryan is with this glasses on. He is looking more than CIA guy rather than right.
The Roz, to be honest, when the show started, the way that he started talking, and I seeing with the shades, he started selling the book immediately like a wrestling promoter. He, like Jimmy the Mother of South Heart, like real quick.
Well, let me try. Hold on, I think I can do that. We're launching this graphic novel, Dheeraj Verma. We've got Ed Greenwood. What are you going to do when Hayvard Saint goes wild on you, brother?
Yeah, exactly. So what's popping with this? How can people begin to even get involved to support this book, man? Like, what's popping here?
Okay,
what we need to do?
All right, so right now on Indiegogo, we've launched the mailing list.
That's that right there, right?
That's that link right there, right? The trailer that we just watched is at the link. We're also giving away a free gift at this link for people who sign up with their email and then back our project when we launch in June. The free gift that we're giving away to those backers is a set of targeted 8 logo dice to commemorate my start in tabletop gaming. So I started. Absolutely, we're going to give that away to all the backers, Beck, as a special thank you for supporting us. We're going to give you updates on the artwork in email leading up to our launch, so you can go there and sign up with your email and to get that process started. We'll do regular updates and show you process. We're going to have 10 pages finished and a cover by the time we launch. This artwork's already paid for, and so we're going to do that so that you'll be able to see and have some proof of concept of what we're doing before you back. It's going to be a 50-page graphic novel. But in addition to that, I've got a bunch of teams that are lined up and on standby. And as we hit stretch goals throughout the campaign, we're going to add 2-page spreads of artwork that's scripted by me with a bunch of my other talented friends. So we've got some multiple teams we're going to bring in to increase the value of the book. So the more people that back and the more that you give to the project, the more we're going to be able to do to you. We'll thicken the book up. So starting at, I want to say about 54 pages as it is now. I've got 2 spreads already commissioned. We're doing a 2-page fantasy spread by Joseph Arnold. And I think I'm going to have Mickey Clausen. Mickey Clausen's going to do the colors on that with the Ed Greenwood letter of recommendation. We're going to publish that right in the book. And then we're going to do another piece. I think I talked with Carlos Villas. He's going to do some coloring work. And I've got Mia, who's a former image artist. He did Atomic Mike years ago for Across the Pond Comics. And then they published image. Yep, he's doing some work for me for Jumpstart Magazine now. We're going to have that. That's going to be launching very soon. We've got a bunch of stories in there too. But yeah, we'll have him come in and do it. He's very talented. All our guys are very talented. And we'll load that book up with artwork. So as we hit these goals, we'll add another 2 pages, and this is just bonus artwork in addition to story. The story we've already we're going to hire for the story. The book is going to print, but this is a way that backers can get a little something extra special and make their book more valuable. So So I'm excited about it. We're also going to be doing a black and white version so that everybody can see Dheeraj's beautiful artwork, and especially for artists as well. Dheeraj does instructional videos on Sundays. He usually shows either an inking technique or a penciling technique, and he likes to share his ability with people and help other people become better artists. So picking up a black and white copy is a great way for you to be able to see that bare line work.
Yes.
And then when you watch his videos, it'll make it a little easier for you to incorporate these techniques into your own artwork. It's also great for a fan as well. I've seen lots of collectors that prefer to have the black and white because after they read the copy, as we published it with the color, they like to go back and take a look at the line work and see the process, see what made those pages pop and what started them. So we're going to be doing that black and white issue, and we're going to have original artwork as well.
Nice.
Dheeraj said he was going to do some traditional artwork. All of the bonus art is going to be traditional artwork, unless something comes up and the artist absolutely can't, it has to go digital. But all the guys are very experienced in traditional, so we'll be able to get original artwork for backers to buy.
Look at this, folks. I mean, this is true value in the campaign here. I mean, especially from a collectible standpoint. Wow.
Well, absolutely. I mean, the amount of work that Dheeraj has done, we want to support these guys.
I add something here just because of I've seen a lot of collectors there to collect traditional artwork, and the way I think is it's a digital platform like Wacom. Everything is useful in these days, but I think the traditional way you do the art is for the comic book is very important because you can project the art with that. You can buy that art and you can trade with that, and definitely if some guy is a big fan of your work, he can collect that.
Yeah,
So
I've already had people approach me and show interest in your traditional artwork for this campaign. So I think that first day is going to get a little competitive because people are going to have to come in and with traditional art that's a one of a kind. You know what I mean? And this is an original project. This is my first graphic novel for this project, and it's the first graphic novel in our Cornerstone Creative Studios Cornerverse Coalition. We've got 11 graphic novels lined up, or titles lined up like this within our book universe. So this is the first foot forward. So
what led to the creation of that collective? What made you guys decide, like, we need to get together and do something?
Well, when I joined the studio, there were a bunch of talented artists already there, but there were no scripts and there was nothing original planned other than what Jesse had created and some concept art for that. Okay. So when I eventually found it, I actually was on digital webbing. I was referred there by a friend owned by Ed Dukeshire, and so I was on there just combing through the forums, and I was collaborating with a few people doing like comic strips type stuff, and not really getting anywhere with that. And then I saw this ad for looking for artists. And that was Jesse Hansen. He finds people freelance work, and they do collaborations on prints that he sells at shows and things like that. So I checked out. I was blown away. I thought the artwork was fantastic. I just started up a dialogue with him, and then ended up hitting it off and getting an opportunity to submit a writing submission, which was accepted. And then we had a couple other guys get excited and step up when I brought some of my own creations in. We were bringing some of Jesse's creations to life with scripts. Everybody was excited. There was a fire that had been breathed into the studio, and so a bunch of us banded together and we just wrote up a bunch of scripts. We brought more artists in and did some more groundwork to flesh out these characters and get it ready. So everything is fleshed out and ready. Our scripts are done and approved, and we're ready to start going to crowdfund and make these books available to you. Beautiful stories. We've agreed to put a seal on the front of the book as well. We're very aware of comic history. We have a lot of guys who are very experienced, and they started as funny books, and then they went to graphic novels because they wanted to be in libraries, and so they keep taking steps. They started as funny books, and then comic books, then graphic novels. They want to be taken seriously, these books and these stories, and more so every day. Creators are creating beautiful literature mixed with world-class art and making beautiful expressions. And it wants to be taken. So this seal that we're putting on the front of the book is heroic fiction. We've trademarked it, and we're doing a better class of book.
Good job.
classic heroism. We've defined what, we've identified, I feel, what people love about these books and superhero genres, that people love heroism. When even if you see on the news, they've got a filler story and a fireman saved a cat that was stuck in a tree. People like those stories. They like to see somebody pulled from a burning building. In real life, even, they like to see the hero, the guy who stopped the guy robbing the store, just the regular customer who prevented a robbery and saved the store owner. People love that. So we're doing heroic fiction. We know people love heroism in all of its forms. And then we're doing fiction. This is essentially literature that's mixed with world-class art to make this expression and to honor the comic medium. You could still call them comic books, but we want you to know that we've taken the extra step. We're very aware of what the market is, and we've taken steps to push it further and to do something new, do something exciting, do something nobody's done. So, and this is a big collaboration. We've got a board of about 13 people who are in Cornerstone Creative Studios core, who all have decades of experience in comics. We've all collaborated and pulled these ideas together and built these scripts step by step to make sure that. So there's a lot of power behind these scripts.
And it's going to be a shared universe between all of what you creators are bringing to the game here within that studio. Nice.
Absolutely. After my contribution, I also wrote 3 other characters for the title. I created. I did Cur the Nexus for Jesse that he created. I did Power Block that he created as well. And then I created Meteor Marley and the Astro Nerds is another title that I own personally that's partnered in. We're contractually partnered together and working together for funding. So, so there's that. A bunch of other titles. There's Victor Champion. There is Sentry. There is Destin. There's American Eagle. We've got a bunch of Kinetic. We've got a bunch of developed characters that we've all collaborated on, and so we want to deliver it to you. We want to give you something beautiful. It all leads to our group title, which is the Cornerverse Coalition. Jesse approved the name, and I've done a lot of work in that direction because now that I'm done with my books, I want to work on the group title stuff when everything comes together. And so our first title in that series, when we finish with these origins, is going to be Cornerverse Coalition, the Pure Gene Paradigm. It's based around Eternitech, who is an immortal character who obsesses over the Garden of Eden in scriptures. And he wants to restore perfection in mankind, the perfection that God took away to punish Adam and Eve. He obsesses over it, and he feels like he wants to play God in a sense. He wants to be the one that returns it to us, and he knows that he's trying to use science to defy God. So he's a very cool protagonist. He's essentially like this neutral force that's within the universe. You're going to love how this one twists. We've got 3 issues planned in that. So by supporting us, you're helping set those gears in motion so that we can bring all this beautiful work to you. These are the first steps going forward. So a lot of thought has gone into this. It's been meticulously planned, like lunatics. Just gone in there, very microscopic, managing and put all of this humongous body of work. A lot of work went into this. Multiple people, dozens of people working on multiple titles. So yeah.
So what's the amount of time you would say? Your work thus far.
I've been in the studio for 6 years, but I had a 2-year mentorship where I developed and did Power Block and Cur, and learned how to draw so that I could do some layouts and some sketching and design my own characters. And so about 4 years of freelance plus work with the studio, because I did professional freelance for World of Game Design as well. That's where I met Ed. I wrote my first source book over there and did a bunch of adventures for their subscription crates on multiple properties he has. We did Cthulhu Crate, and we did Myth Horde, and I did Dwarven Crate. And they do 3D print. They do a lot of stuff. They 3D print their own dice. They do dice towers and miniatures. And he has his own production facility at his home. A fellow does it. And then, just wrote adventures. And so like when for these crates, for these multiple crates, and then when COVID hit, they stopped shipping out. So we took essential jobs, and I back to focusing on my own work until we're back in production. But yeah, so So all of that was probably about 6 years total of work around raising a
Good.
family and a day job. Yeah, well,
I
all my
get
spare
it,
time.
man.
So
I
we got a
get
lot,
that.
lot of sacrifice, money and
Absolutely.
time. Absolutely, man. So all comes down to this, man. This is it. We want to unleash this onto the world. This is my sequential symphony. It's not a comic book. It's a sequential symphony. This is an
Wepa,
artistic
yeah. I hear
experience.
the music, kiddo. I hear the music.
Thanks, brother. I appreciate it. I know you do. You support all of the comic industry. I've seen your work and your posts online. I know that you love this like we do. It
Yeah,
shows.
man. It's about comics and creators, taking us elsewhere sometimes. Like, hey, sometimes I know we gotta face issues, but sometimes I want to pick up a comic book and just get away in a world of fantasy and have a good time, and just seeing the characters you're creating here. Again, it's one of those true forms of escapism that I seek nowadays, that I miss from the days of old, where you could pick up something and it's such a far out story that it's a good time to read, with beautiful art, that you could enjoy, and not just the words, but see what the artist did as well, how he tells the story through art. Like the Roz, I'm dying to see how much story you're involved within this universe. So what are you bringing to the table for the universe here in Ryan's world? It's not, Wayne's World, Ryan's World. There you go.
Absolutely, it's Ryan's
Party
world, and
time, excellent.
All right.
it's interesting, man.
So
Yeah,
what do you
Jared's
got? Do
bringing
you
the
have
artwork.
so are you bringing any new characters yourself? Any creations you're bringing that are of your own to the universe, or
In this, in this Hayvard sense,
yes, in Hayward, or even beyond, or beyond that? Do we have
no,
anything from you?
not here because it's Ryan's baby, so I'm not touching it. But yes, as I shared, I've shown you that a character Black Knife last time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm bringing that character, and somebody is from US itself. He's writing it.
Oh,
So
excellent,
yeah,
excellent.
I'm just
Check
going
it
to
out.
share that thing very soon with you, and it's very
Excellent.
interesting and very cool character.
I can't wait. You landed. Hella team members, Ryan. It seems that
Thanks, bro.
you have a plan and a nice collected, already shared universe. And look, I
Absolutely.
love Spawn. I've been collecting Spawn for a minute, but damn, brother, it took you 300 years to finally extend the universe. 300 issues. You know what I mean? Fuck, bro.
Yeah,
I had to wait 300 issues to get an extended universe. But hey, I'm ready for it. I'm enjoying it. Oh man, look at this. While we're here bullshitting, let's see. So, first off, for Dheeraj, Six Elements says hello. All right.
hi,
Hail
hi, how
Six
are you?
Element.
I'm doing good, man. Six element of hip hop. Yeah, I'm doing
Yeah,
good.
yeah,
You tell me.
man. And then he says to you, Ron, these sound like some biblical comics over here. It's
Okay.
like on a
Yeah.
biblical scale of storytelling here.
Eternitech was created by Jesse Hansen, and this was the storyline that was chosen. But but that's just one aspect of the story. All of these stories each have their own theme to them. Like they have,
Okay.
we have one that has patriotism with like American Eagle, and mine's a
Okay.
supernatural fantasy story that has divine elements to it, but essentially at its core, it's a group title about heroism at its very core. And so we'll be defining heroism in this story. Because I think that's what people love. They want to meet the hero. They want to see what they're thinking. They want to read what they're thinking. So it's a very character-driven story. Many different aspects behind each of the different. So I'm sure that you'll find something you like if that isn't your thing. But I promise that it's not the absolute focus. It was essentially the starting point and the hook for the story and for Eternitech. But we're going to get into some very interesting things with these books. I know you guys are going to love these books. I love them. I love reading them. I promise you're going to like them because we're not doing a gimmick, and these books aren't trying to catch a wave or try to create something that it thinks you're going to like. But this isn't a formula we put together. I wrote Hayvard Saint because this is the book that I love comics. This is the book I want to read that doesn't exist. And that's how our guys create. And we work together in that regard. We love comics. We want to honor comics. So if we're doing anything that's not genuine, then those books are going to hurt.
It's a disservice to the product.
Absolutely. It's a disservice to the product because you see it a lot. I mean, I'm not knocking it. People do it. They find success with books when they catch a wave or there's a trend going on and they publish a book to catch it. But, you know, we want to make stories, I feel, that are enduring. And enduring stories are something that's unique and a story told for the sake of telling a good story. And that's what we want to do. We want to tell good stories. We love good stories. So
that's the good old days. Again, you know, sometimes you had a good story, passion, things you could get hooked into, you know, and say like, wow, that was epic. You know, and then move on to the next story, but something, you know, contained, nice. Again, I miss those days.
Hopefully something that you remember.
Events have taken over the comic book industry, and events get boring after a while.
Yeah, that's right. They do. And it's hard too because, you know, not to take away from it, because these large publishing houses, when they started, are what inspired us to get into comics. But as of late, it seems like this corporate machine has a lot of cooks in the soup. There's a lot of people producing.
Oh, yeah.
There's situations where, and I know, and I talk with people, it's a problem. I see situations where there's people who are not creative types who are telling creative types how to make books.
Yeah.
And that's a bad formula when you've got someone saying, well, this book would be better, I think, if based on our research data, that if you do this, this formula is going to work. And this is what I want you guys to change it to. And we need people who have vision, and we need them to create and express that vision, one singular idea and thought going into this complex story, and have the passion. And when you're doing those things, when you're being micromanaged, and when it seems like it's all about the money and it's very cold, I think it's hard to buy creativity in that regard. Sure, there's freelance going on or people getting hired, yes, but when you take the soul out of a creative spark, I think it hurts the project, and I think a lot of entertainment has been hurt by that. Creators and artists have been hurt. They're getting paid, and they've been treated badly by the industry, I think, because it's very much all about business, and they're rotating new talent in all the time, and people are getting tossed aside, maybe politely. They're getting tossed aside, you know, but
but it happens.
The industry is not great to everybody. I think a lot of the problems with these stories, maybe if they're subpar, I think it's that coming from that corporate model, it's not as good anymore. It's taken the passion out of it, and print on demand has never been easier. People who are savvy and smart can publish their own books. So if you're intelligent, you've got a great story, and you don't want anybody else to have it, and you want to do it, you can just go and put a team together, make the book, and print it yourself. And that's what people are doing. So I think this is the shift where people need to start looking at indie, especially indie like what we're doing, because we're doing professional indie. You know, our guys have together, my team collective has over 150 years in publishing together of professional publishing. So we've got a lot of experience. So you're buying an indie book, but this is a book that could very easily be produced at a large publishing house. I think it would do very well. But I'm publishing myself an indie book. It's going to have that mainstream quality, but that independent heart. You know what I mean? I think that's we hit now. We can do a beautiful book for you, and you'll be experiencing something completely new. So
excellent. Listen, when you have artists like Dheeraj on your team, I expect nothing but like top-notch art. I'm sure
he's a beast. I'll tell you. I've got some artwork right here. You want to share my screen now, and we can show everybody?
Go ahead. Let's tease. Make people buy, and start hooking up to that newsletter so they can buy. Hurry up and buy.
Go and catch it.
There, can you see my screen okay?
There you go, bro. I'm sharing it there, so that's all you now. Let me take off
the band real
quick. So tease us, brother. What we got here?
Okay, so this was in the trailer. You saw this is actually my artwork here. I drew this, and it was colored by Alessandro Torretta. And so this is my line work here and some concept stuff, a pin-up that I did. But mostly I just draw to get the designs and to work, and I let the professionals do it. This is some artwork here that Dheeraj did recently and a draw stream that we did.
Holy shit.
And
Yeah,
so
Dheeraj is a beast, bro. Look at this.
very skilled artist. It's beautiful artwork,
Just
Dheeraj.
3 hour sketch, man.
Three
He
oh,
has a
wow.
3-hour sketch inked over, yeah. And then here's his Batman here. Here's a pencil sketch. You can see the detail here
Holy shit.
on Batman, and that perspective is beautiful. That's fun. That's dynamic. That's a lot of fun.
Hell yeah, bro.
There, we got another one here. I'll go through. This is Dheeraj's version of Batman. I love that build. You can even see the texturing on the armor here, on the body armor. Kevlar suit.
Man.
You can see his Bane. His version of Bane is beautiful.
Hell
Pencils
yeah,
and inks. And then, and so we've got his line work, and the colorist that I chose to work with Dheeraj, very talented young man. I mentioned he worked at Valiant and IDW.
Okay.
His name is Brian Arfel Magnate. Here's a commission piece that he did of Ghost Rider. And so we're going to have that over that line work. It's going to be gorgeous. I love
That's
Brian's
fire,
work.
huh?
I love his color choices. Here's Logan.
Oh, dude, yeah, bro. Oh, look at that. Just the posing, too.
Absolutely. This is the colorist, so he did the color work over this line work, but you can see how he does with detailed line work. He's more than capable to handle this book. We've got Galactus and Silver Surfer here. But his color choice is good, and his lighting is always good. He's on target. And then we got Vampirella here that he did.
Ooh, what a pose. Yeah,
She's cool.
Absolutely. And those are beautiful. I picked those examples because the line work is very detailed. The artists that did these are very skilled, like Dheeraj. So you'll be able to see with it, obviously, like easily Brian will be able to handle the detail that Dheeraj is
the
throwing at him.
people you got working with you. That's oh man,
Hayvard Saint by Dheeraj Verma here, and you can see the line work here and the texturing and the shading. Dheeraj is very talented. This book's going to look beautiful.
Oh yeah, who's that homie though with the cowboy hat? What's his name?
Oh, this is Marshall Trainer, Ultra Ghost, and so in the book, at the beginning of the book. When as he's coming through, he's attacked by the underworld. They make an attempt to stop them from coming back into the past to prevent the timeline. And so the champion of the underworld attacks him and attempts to steal his soul from him. And he's interrupted by Eva Bexby, who's Marshall Trainer's love in the book, right here. And so she interrupts and they run through the portal, but he's dead on arrival. And he's able to defy death, and he comes back to her, and so he gains the ability to make his body transparent and go into the spirit realm. It gives him a supernatural healing ability when he reforms. He's able to. So essentially, the only way he can be killed is if he can be killed before he can change form and go into the spirit world. So in the first book, the demons try to taunt him and threaten him that they're going to make sure that they cut his head off before he even sees it coming. And so he's always going to have to watch over his shoulder, make sure that he's not killed before he's able to escape or use his ability. And so that's the idea, is that the supernatural evil wants to intimidate them, wants to take over mankind, and it's preying on mankind itself. Its wants and the evil that's inside of man, they're able to turn them into half demon soldiers. And so really the book is a metaphor for the good and evil choices that we make every day. Some people are willing to give up their good half and they become part of the problem, which is this the evil force. And then some people are able to keep it together and maintain it and hold on to that human spirit. That thing that makes us human, and remain good or untouched by it. So it's going to be a very cool story. You guys are going to love this.
Show the color version, I think, Ryan.
What's that?
The color version of that.
Oh yeah, I've got that over here. I'm jumping into that.
Holy
so then we've got the color version. I wanted to show Dheeraj's line work, but here's Brian Arfel's colors over the top.
Oh, that's gorgeous. Look at that.
He did some rendering too as well for Awesome Angel for the wings, because they're made out of blue flame. Now, this character here, Awesome Angel, is the champion of the Guardian Angels. He's good, the champion for the good side, okay? And they give him a weapon that is the spirit weapon, which allows him to use the human spirit as a weapon to fight evil. And so his armor and his wings and everything are made from. They chose him because he's an example of a wild and strong human spirit. And so, so it's going to be very cool. And then we've got Mammoth Monk over here, of course, with the butterflies. He rendered the butterflies around there. In the story, those represent Gigaru, who is his dead master, and the order of the butterfly is their house. Okay, so this in the story, Mammoth Monk, his master, teaches these pachydermian monks who are essentially these big, strong, angry, woolly mammoth monsters. Teaches them tranquility and peace, and uses the order of the butterfly to balance them. To teach them not always to use their strength, to use their intelligence, to use grace, and so it balances their one of the biggest problems within their race, which is just to get angry and smash their head through things and use their strength, always brute force. And so he follows his greatest student, Mammoth Monk, in the form of these spiritual butterflies to watch over him. Now, Gigaru actually in ancient Chinese means to watch over, to transform, and flesh and bone. And so, so in death, he transforms and takes on a flock of butterflies and to watch over his student always, forever, for eternity. So that's the story there. We've got Komodos the dragon here. We've got an alien, which is the Intergalactic Knight. He's a member of the Concurian race, and we're going to get to see what he's for good. He's pledged himself to mankind for all creation, but we're going to get to see what happens when his people are thrown into the mix. And
I don't agree.
Maybe they're not so good, and maybe they don't care about mankind and people being alive. So we're going to get to see that as well. And then we got the Gix over here, and the Hunter Twins, Riven Moonrunner. They're sharpshooters, and so it's going to be a fun book.
It looks beautiful, the artwork, man. Can't wait.
Now we've got some page artwork here that we're running through, and Dheeraj already started. Let that come in. Yeah, it just came into focus. There we go. So there's the panel 1 for the first page. Oh, hold on. Let me get back into that. Don't go anywhere now. Hold on. I gotta wait for it to come into focus because these are high res. Yep. And so we've got the portal there. You get to see everything we mentioned where martial trainers being attacked by the champion of the underworld, and his love, Eva Bexby, is pulling him through the portal and looking to save him. And now some of these our pencils here just need some touch up on ink, so this is a work in progress. But Dheeraj did a wonderful job here, and Brian's going to knock this out of the park with his colors, so it's going to be great. Here's martial trainer writing and telling the story. We have poetic dialogue that's telling the story of how he experienced the underworld here. He's dead on arrival, and his love is looking down at him, broken and withered, and then he comes back to her. And he claims, nobody knows exactly what he experienced, but he does say that his love brought him back for her from the infinite black. And so, he's a bit of a romantic and a poet. And
that's the line for try to get laid. Come on.
Yeah, absolutely. What kind of action story would this be if it wasn't as soon as he defied death, instantly trying to get laid? So so we've got a group shot here, and I like this concept of Mammoth Monk as well. We went over the page, and we're going to touch up some of the hair. I suggested to him, of course, but for the design work. But I like this build as well. It's very cool. Dheeraj is getting a feel for the characters, which is very exciting. And so,
yeah, man, definitely. Dheeraj, you're killing it, bro.
Thank you.
His expression.
He's invited like Bruce Lee. Come on.
That's what he does. Dheeraj like, come on, I got you, brother.
Yeah.
Cowboy my head back. I'm gonna draw it over that shit. Yeah, it looks gorgeous, bro. Congrats, man. I really look forward to seeing the finished project. And again, folks, let me unshare your screen for a moment before we go, because I want folks to obviously see the link of where they could go.
Okay.
Folks, right here. All right, on the Indiegogo projects, Hayvard Saints S8 federal offensive responders is coming soon. Sign up. You're gonna kick some ass. You got another something you want to show something else right here, bro?
Yeah, sure. I just brought up the link here that you posted so that people can see what the
There you
page
go.
looks like.
Take
We've
that
got
off.
the we've
Give
got a
us a
button here.
rundown.
Now
There you
we've got a button here so you can watch the video that we watched already in this episode. So you'll be able to watch that video again or anytime you want. But
And
here you
share
can
it with
sign
your
up for the email.
friends.
Yes, please share it with your friends. This is going to be a beautiful book. It's going to be an exciting collectible item as well. And so and we're going to have an exciting campaign. I'm excited. Everybody's excited. It's got a rundown of the, a tagline for the story. It tells you a little bit about what we're trying to do here. Divine appointed guardians fail to prevent cataclysmic apocalypse and are given a second chance. And so, so that's the premise for the story.
Ooh.
We're going to give you guys a free gift for signing up if you back the project when we launch in June. And then we mentioned some of the credits here for just a couple of our members. Dheeraj being one of them, and then also Ed Elminster Greenwood. So we've got lots of creative talents who have a lot of experience. Jesse Hansen, the owner of the studio, is actually a Marvel inker, but he's very hardcore indie. Afterwards, he went very hardcore indie, creating his own stuff.
Nice.
Very creative guy. He brought us in because he's not a professional writer. He's very smart. He knows what to do. This is a guy you want to trust with your books. He knows, and if he doesn't know, he'll refer to somebody who does. He'll find the guy that can. He has no problem saying, I can't do it,
Gotcha.
And, so he's a professional inker. He's a professional critique of artwork, but he knows that the writing ability, he doesn't have enough experience there. He brings in guys who are good. He has very good taste in story. He's an avid comic collector. I've seen a list of the collection that he has, signed collection from shows. He has everybody who's relevant. He has Bill Adams. He has Buscema. He has Polito. He actually has a number 2 Swamp Thing signed by Bernie Whiteman. Yes,
nice.
This is a serious collector. He's got all the.
Don't give away his address here, all right? Don't do that. Don't do that.
He's got all the serious. I know he was selling them during COVID. He posted up a list in the public online of the stuff. He's got all the relevant stuff from Rob Littlefield. He's got stuff from what's his name, Capullo. He's got just all the guys that are relevant in comics and the New Age comics. He's got them and all the relevant issues and signed. The guy loves comics, so he's into it. And so this is what you have. He's going to be on our team as well, doing pre-press, and he's also going to be working with the artists and filling in inking. And so so that's the guy. Just one team member. Rick Benny has been doing this for 20 years. He's going to be doing a 2-page spread. Like I mentioned, he worked at Image Comics professionally, and he's been a freelance ever since and done independent books. So we've definitely got some muscle. This is some muscle here, led by Dheeraj doing the of course doing the interior pages here for the story. So we're going to give you a beautiful book. You back this book in June, you will not be sorry. You're going to love this comic book.
I see it, man. You formed the ultimate Voltron team here. Defenders of the comic verse. Let's kick some ass.
I love talking with you, Al. You remind me of more stuff that I love about comics, man. Like obviously Voltron was a big part of my childhood. I love that show so much.
You and me both, brother. Up there, I got the robot. I got the original. Well, it has. As I find the pieces, I will replace them until I have an original. So I found an original yellow line, and I replaced the plastic.
I love your shelf. I'm going to pick some from there.
Yeah, that's a fun looking shelf there. Remember that old Voltron toy? It was metal, and the feet, man, they had some torque to them. You know what I mean? You could put something in there, and it was staying there. The fly and bite something. You could hang that baby off. You could hang that baby off your finger. You know what I mean?
Don't make me. Why are you making me do this?
Yeah, you might have to whip it out, man. But the reason why
what are we talking about? My wife doesn't want me to do that.
No, whip your toy out. Don't take me verbatim on that, please. I like you, but I don't. It was good to see you, but I don't want to see you.
Not in that way, right, guys?
No, I want to. Oh my God! Look at that.
Oh, fantastic! Yep, I
Awesome,
remember
man.
that toy.
Yeah, like you said, the torque. Look at this. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah.
those
Oh.
feet got some torque for. I remember those things will bite. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could stick. Those were a lot of fun. You could stick things in there, and they would stay, so they could pick up things and walk around with them when you're playing
And
with
this
them.
weighs about 5 pounds. Hey, man, this has
I
weight.
told
The
you, man.
metal ones. Yeah,
Yeah, I
man.
had that one. That's the original shit right there. That's a metal. They don't make toys like that anymore.
No, they don't, man. I love this.
Well, I'm coming to your home. You have to invite me.
You want to play in my garage?
Yeah,
yes, absolutely.
Yeah, man.
I
Yeah,
got
we got
Monopoly
some-
in here too, bro. So
let's break open some of those valuable boxes too, Al. Let's crack those babies open. Special occasion.
Man.
Crack the good bottle of whiskey, and we'll crack the good boxes. Let's do it.
We'll have a good time, bro. I even got a little
Yeah,
model
definitely.
of Voltron, bro. A little model of one.
Oh,
that's cool,
wow.
man. Yeah, see, you remind me. It's always good to talk with you, Al. I know you're passionate about this, like I am. And when you mentioned Voltron, it's essentially like this group title. You've got 5 heroes coming together, and I love Transformers.
Look at that, man.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
What this is, man.
It's so tiny and it's so cool.
Yeah, man.
I'm not familiar with that. That
You don't
one's
know-
outside.
You don't know Mazinger Z, bro?
No, that's outside. You're gonna have to tell me about that.
That's
one.
anime, bro. That's how I got put into pop culture. I thank my grandma. She started me as a little kid. I remember watching this in Spanish language, and this is how I got into the big robots. So Mazinger Z was one of those concepts of a pilot in a robot. That was one of the first cartoons, although we know that one of the first shows was the Spider-Man, or the Superiman from Japan. That was the first like Power Rangers type show.
Oh, yeah.
Thank Marvel for creating that.
I love all those group titles. Voltron was one that was big. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Transformers,
G.I. Joe, He-Man,
G.I.
Thundercats,
Joe, He-Man,
Centurions, Mask.
All of those were absolute favorites of mine growing up and coming up through it. And so, that's also an inspiration for this book, that I love group titles done right. X-Men, that's one that we didn't mention. X-Men was a big group title, and so these are all an inspiration. So
Defenders of the Earth, was it, or something like that? That was another show. That was a group title. That had like Mandrake the Magician and all those cats.
They did them so many times. Some of them were very well developed. I mean, even like Captain Planet is technically a group.
See, Ryan is being nice. Like, I don't remember that, but I won't say that so not to offend you out, because you must be an old motherfucker. What the hell?
I'm sure there's some weird shit that I guarantee there's weird shit that I like that's gonna, it's gonna blow everybody's minds. Who knows?
I mean, like, you weirdo, why you telling me about these pornographic programs?
I just push it way down and keep it inside where it can't hurt anybody.
Excellent. All right, guys. So I want to keep you guys much longer. It's getting late for me too. So, again, folks, just look at the bottom of the screen right there in the Google Project. Sign up. Be alerted when this awesome project goes live. You already saw the artwork. Dheeraj is an amazing, amazing artist. I mean, Ryan is an amazing writer and an artist. You guys got something going. I love what the shirt says. Make American comics great again. And it's true. Let's have some fun with some books. Real escapism again. I understand that. Yeah, we need to touch sometimes on political narratives, but doesn't have to be all the time. So thank you for making some fun books. It's just all about fun and enjoying some sci-fi fun and anthropomorphic fun. God knows
it's going to be fun and it's going to be beautiful. We've got. I mentioned Ed's been publishing for 50 years, and this is a guy who's beloved in the fantasy community. He created Forgotten Realms, which is arguably among like Dragonlance, but like one of the most popular campaign settings from Dungeons and Dragons since day one. And the guy read all 4 issues, which is our 2 graphic novels, this one and the sequel. He compared it to a masterpiece and a stirring symphony.
Nice. Check that out.
We're going to publish that letter of recommendation right in the book for everybody. And we've been posting it on social media.
As you should. Hell yeah, that's a stamp.
You've got to guarantee, absolutely. You've got to guarantee that this is a quality book and that the writing is, it pushes the envelope, that it's different, but it's very well done. So we want to share this with you. We want to take all of the risk out of it for you on this, so that way you can feel confident going in and backing us, because this is going to be a beautiful project.
Oh, there you go, folks. So make sure to back it. So before we go, Ryan, where can they follow you?
Oh, you can follow me at Ryan Tyler Palmer on Twitter. I'm also on YouTube as The Inexorable Word Nerd, which is my podcast channel. We do a bunch of casts there. I've had Ed Greenwood as one. Dheeraj Verma was on. We also had Paris Cullins. We had Meredith Finch. We had who else do we have? The co-founder of Boom Studios. We had Cosby, Andrew Cosby, who also he did the Hellboy film, the screenplay for that, and he also wrote Eureka, and he co-founded Boom Studios. We had him on, talked with him. He was great.
Nice.
So we've had a bunch of great guests. Go check it out. There's a bunch of silly content that I do as well, because I was learning video editing, but put some stuff on silly stuff just for fun. And so we're having a good time. We're all having a good time. Comics.
There you go. And Dheeraj, where can we follow you? Make sure that we could keep up on everything you're doing.
Thank you, man.
Where can we follow you?
Mine is Dheeraj Verma Art everywhere. Instagram, YouTube, Facebook. It's very simple. Dheeraj Verma Art. That's it. Or you can Google my name. That's it. Very simple.
Very simple, man. But check him out, man, because he's an amazing artist, man. An honor to have you on. Hopefully I get to see you hanging out at the next Repop event too, so we could chit chat a little bit more. Ryan, you too, bro. Awesome. As the project moves along, and when Ed is available, I'm sorry he wasn't able to join us today. I understand there was a personal issue, so I hope everything's okay. But shout out to your partner there. But hopefully next time we could have the whole squad on and talk further about how well the project is doing. That's actually what I want to hear about, how awesome it's doing. How you guys went like 1,000% above what you guys expected.
Fantastic. We will do just that. We'll when he's freed up again, closer to the launch of the project, we'll come back and we'll
let's talk about it
on everything's going. Yes, sir. It'll be fun and it'll be great. We'll get the band back together.
Let's do it, kiddo.
The band together. Ed wasn't able to make it, but we'll be back and he'll be with us.
Yes, he will. And with that, thanks again for tuning in, everybody. I'm Al Mega. Make sure to visit comiccrusaders.com, undercovercapes.com. With that, ¡Huepa! Para que tú sepas. Hasta la próxima, mi gente. Woo! Bye.
See you, man.
Thank you. We hope you've enjoyed this Comic Crusaders production. For real-time news on all things pop culture, please feel free to follow us on social media. For articles, original content, merchandise, and more, please go to www.comiccrusaders.com. Also follow along with all of the websites of the Comic Crusaders family. As always, if you like this content, please click like and subscribe to the Comic Crusaders YouTube channel.